What we're here to do today is, in a small way, welcome new members to our law enforcement family and show them we appreciate their hard work and desire to answer the call to public service that many of us heard somewhere in our past. So with that in mind, I'm not going to take a long time up here. We'll keep things moving. I would like to introduce the people who are here and our online audience to some of the members of Springfield Police Academy's number 520. Well, now that we've met half of the class, 520, there are also some other people here that I think we need to recognize what they've done for us, okay? The critical roles they've played in either A, making it possible for us to be here today, they've supported us along the way, or they're going to be very critical in the future development of these officers' careers. Off to my left here, I'd like to thank the Honorable Mayor Domenic Sarno for joining us here today. Along with Mayor Sarno, he brought his Chief of Staff, Thomas Ash, and the City Clerk, Tashina Davis, are here with us. From the Springfield Police Department, Police Commissioner Cheryl Clapprood, Deputy Chiefs Stephen Kent, William Cochran, and Rupert Daniel, as well as Senior Captain Trent Duda. Thank you for being here with us today. As well as from outside the Springfield Police Department, we have some other people who are going to be very critical to the roles of some of these officers in the future. And in that regard, I'd like to welcome Acting Chief Michael Brennan from the Ludlow Police Department, Lieutenant Daniel Velatis from the Ludlow Police Department, and Lieutenant Holly Davis from the Chicopee Police Department. I'm hoping I didn't miss anyone when I went around there. If I did, I apologize. We'll keep this moving forward now. And what I would say is, for anyone who's not already standing, could you please rise for our national anthem? Recruit Officer Jessica Putnam, will you please step forward?
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets recollect the bones bursting in air, gave proof through the night that a flag was still there. Oh, say star-spangled banner yet wave, o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Order! Up!
Thank you, Recruit Officer Putnam. Okay, Class 520 started back on December 2nd, 2019. And at that time, as Academy staff quickly realized, this group of recruits were not ready to be police officers and not even prepared to be properly inspected. For the last 22 weeks, my staff and numerous other instructors have worked to prepare them for this day and for their future careers in law enforcement. With this in mind, I now direct my staff, under the direction of Sergeant Eleni Barberi, to give Class 520 their final inspection.
Class inspection! Class about place! Ma'am, final inspection has been completed.
Sir, Class 520 is ready for graduation ceremony.
Thank you, sir. Officer Dumas, post the guide on.
Guy, post the guide up. Post!
Well, this is the point in the graduation where I would now tell you about Class 520, how hard they worked, how much they've improved, and maybe a few anecdotes about the class. But I'm not going to do that today. What I'm going to do instead is tell you about the uniqueness of this class and how the current situation that's affecting all of our daily lives brought out the best in this class. Class 520, like many other academy classes, had good days and bad days. And truth be told, I believe the academy staff and the recruits probably have a really different opinion on what were the good days and what were the bad days. But what really shaped Class 520 was what reshaped all of our lives these days. As an academy staff, we, like most people, watched, listened, and learned as the normal was turned upside down, and we decided that if we were to stand a chance of getting these recruits through this class, we had to turn our academy norm upside down as well. After proposing a plan to Deputy Chief Cochran and Commissioner Clapprood, we were given the permission to go for it. It meant long, long days and Saturdays. It meant a full day in a classroom, followed by a night of active shooter training or patrol procedure training. It meant tests upon tests, academically and hands-on and practically. It meant we pushed these recruits to get through 7 weeks of material in just under 4 weeks. So back to how did this shape Class 520? This push and what we demanded they accomplish showed us that Class 520 could come together and did have what our profession will demand of them over the course of their careers. So I'm very proud to stand here today and tell you that these recruits, soon to be officers, did everything we asked of them and performed at their best when they did that. I want to thank you, Class 520, for growing as you did when we needed you the most. 7 academies were running across the state of Massachusetts at the same time as this class. Ourselves in Boston are the only 2 left, and that are going to make it. The rest of them were stopped, suspended, or canceled. We asked you to quarantine. We asked you to isolate yourselves. We asked you to grow up really fast. You did it for us. You made it here today. I couldn't be more proud of this class than I am right now for doing that. as well as thanking this class, I'd be very remiss if I didn't thank my staff as well. All the long nights, long days, and weekends we added in wouldn't have been possible without them giving up their lives to do that over the last month. Most of my staff, if people weren't aware, to get this done, spent the better part of February, a pretty cold, rainy, wet month, doing 10 to 12-hour days outside, getting them through their firearms, rifles, shotgun, and outdoor training. That's a lot to ask of people, and I'm proud of my staff very much as well. It wouldn't have been possible without you, and I thank you very much too. Now, I said before, when I started, I'd keep it quick, and I'm gonna. So that's the last I'm gonna say about this. Thank you, class. Thank you very much, staff. What I would like to do now, though, is give some of the dignitaries who are here a chance to speak. Like I said, they will play critical roles, either in the development or just in the fact of letting this class even happen. And I'd first like to invite Police Commissioner Cheryl Clapprood up to speak.
Class, prepare to seat. Ready, seat.
Hey,
Arrow, jump.
Congratulations. To Class 520, to Lieutenant Zarelli, Sergeant Barberi, the Academy staff, all your hard work does not go unnoticed, and the fact that you made it and you're all here today says a lot about your character already. Congratulations. Mr. Mayor, Acting Chief Brennan, Lieutenant Veladas, Lieutenant Davis, welcome. I'm sorry it's under such conditions, but I think the conditions itself speak to the character of this class. I'd also like to give a shout out to Lieutenant Norm Charest, who was at the beginning the Academy Director here and retired in February. And Lieutenant Zarelli, you stepped up, you did an admirable job. You continue to do a great job, and I thank you for that. I'm sorry about the conditions that were faced here today, the circumstances under which you're graduating, and the conditions under which you start your career. Police work in and of itself is dangerous, but to add to the stress of that work is this contagious virus. It's widely spreading throughout our community, and they need our help more now than ever. But one characteristic needed to be a successful and productive police officer is resiliency. So you're getting that test right off the bat, right from the get-go. If resiliency is not in your makeup, you probably will not have a long, productive career. Police work changes all the time. The demands on us are tremendous. What's expected of us is really unthinkable. What they want you to do, how they want you to act, in a split second, life or death, save someone, serve someone who has needs in the community, stop the bleeding, fix the hurt, don't get the city into any liability problems, act correctly. Oh, that goes for off-duty as well as on-duty. It's quite a demanding profession, unlike any other profession that you'll find out there. Police work is unique. Most of us have past experience and job-related exposure to test our resiliency. You have to test yours immediately. If you cannot adapt to the conflict, changing work conditions, making these decisions, the stresses of our job, then your career will be a short one. Learning how to find alternative answers, solutions to problems you never before realized existed, protecting others while putting yourself in harm's way is all a part of being police officer. Adaptation and survival is the key. You're an academy of first. You're the first class to learn about and will wear the body-worn cameras. You're the first class to be issued PPE as part of your standard equipment. You're the first class that will be assigned to one-man cruisers. You're the first class to be trained in 6 different areas of the department. You're the first class to have your graduation taped and video recorded without family or friends present. I don't take that last one lightly. I know it's a disappointment. You would not be here without the support of family and friends. if it's permitted, in September, we should do this again, Thomas. We should have a party and let your family and friends be a part of this celebration, because they too, like you, deserve a celebration. You're going to get something unique that other classes have not received. You're going to be spread out in groups throughout the department, 6 different areas, and learn from the best of the best. You're going to have experienced supervisors and officers teach you about the area in which you land. This overall, I think, will make you a much better police officer come September, when you're ready to hit the squad you belong in by your seniority. Springfield officers will be in 2 different squads. They'll be in the Detective Bureau. You'll be in our downtown metro, traffic, C3, ordnance. You'll learn it all. In each area, you'll spend 3 weeks. It'll be the busiest 3 weeks of your career. I've asked some of our most talented, most experienced deputies and captains to help me with this, and we've come up with this plan that I think will make you a pretty terrific police officer. Springfield, like the other departments that you're going to, yes, Ludlow and yes, Chicopee, we're very busy right now. There's no lull because of this virus. Almost every morning, I report to the mayor in our conference calls that we have seized another semi-automatic loaded handgun from somebody the shift before. It has been really incredible, the weapons that we're finding on our streets. I don't take that lightly. I know for every loaded handgun, whether semi-automatic, whether 2 rounds or whether 30 rounds, how lucky I am that the officers didn't have to have a shootout with this person. It's happening daily. And I'm sure Ludlow and Chicopee are not immune. They're right on our borders, and they're right there. It's a busy place. So we're asking a lot of you as you leave here and as you start your careers on Sunday. We're asking that not only you be resilient and adapt to the environment we're in with this contagious virus, but learn quickly. Learn under strange circumstances. Be the best person you can be, and from each area in Springfield, for each area you go to, learn who to ask questions of. You're going to meet people in each of the 6 areas. You're going to meet supervisors who have been on the job 30, 35, 40 years. Ask them questions. Start your career with as much knowledge as you possibly can. Captain Duda in our Detective Bureau is an experienced investigator. He will put you in touch with some of the supervisors in that area that have done it all. From mass murderers to armed robbers to bank robbers, they've done it. Learn the 3 weeks you're there and ask questions of him and his supervisors. They are the best of the best. In every area you go in, I will have supervisors who have been on the job and have quite the array of experience. They're there for you to ask questions of. Resiliency is one character. I don't know why I wrote this because I'm not looking at it. Just comes from the heart, like the mayor usually does, but I can't tell if they're smiling or laughing. It's a tough crowd. I need the eyes to perk up a little bit. Resiliency is one characteristic that you have to have in your toolbox. The other 2 characteristics I will advise you to have is humility and humor. And maybe you won't understand that now. Maybe you won't understand that in a year. But as you come on in your years in police work, I remember what she said. Humility and humor. Why? You have to have humility because the badge gives you the authority to do things. You absolutely have authority that no other person in the community has by way of your badge and your ID. It does not give you respect. Respect is something you earn. And if you go out and think you know it all, or there can be nothing else that people can teach you, if you don't have that touch of humility, you're shutting yourself down from the get-go. Always keep the humility. Keep the humor. You're going to need it. It's a tough job. It's depressing. It's stressful. It's dangerous. Humor is good at the appropriate time. Humor is good to keep yourself grounded. Nothing lasts forever. You see different circumstances and different situations. You have to learn how to take it and go. And nothing builds a bond like a little bit of humor when you're talking to somebody in the community. Be friendly and make those bonds. So I congratulate you. I wish you the best of luck. I am here for you, whether you're Springfield, Chicopee, or Ludlow. If you have any questions, everybody knows where to find me. Please always remember how you feel today and carry this feeling throughout your career. As a very smart person once told me, we all rise to our own level of discontent. So if you want to make this the worst job ever, if you want to make that shift the worst shift ever, and that partner the worst guy ever, go right ahead. But you control how you react to things. You control your destiny. So keep the feeling you have today in your hearts throughout your career. God bless, and I wish you the best. Having said all that, being commissioner in the police department, I'm very limited in how I control the community reactions. A lot of things we do are not pleasant. A lot of things we do, people only meet us when we're taking enforcement action. I need the leader of the city to be supportive, to be behind us, to be understanding, to be there when things go wrong as well as when things go good. Because with a department of over 500, things are going to go wrong. You can't miss. The difference maker is who's in charge of the city, to help me control what we can control, to help me get the narrative out of what we're doing. And there's nobody who's been more supportive of this police department than the next speaker. I'd like to present Honorable Mayor Domenic Sarno.
Thank you so much, Commissioner Clapprood. Get your Springfield Proud mask. Humor, I don't know if I should start off with there was a rabbi, a priest, an imam, and a police officer, just to get them laughing a little bit here. First of all, to Commissioner Clapprood, to Deputy Kent, Deputy Cochran, Deputy Daniels, Lieutenant Zarelli, who's done a great job in the academy staff, Captain Duda, to our leaders of Chicopee and Police Department. I also want to thank my Director of Facilities Management and Parks, Pat Sullivan, the Wizard of Oz, who put this unique graduation together. I want to give a shout out to my old halfback in soccer days, Mr. Steve Carey, Focus Springfield, for being able to tape this so other members of police departments, but more specifically families, your families can see this. I want to thank my city clerk, Attorney Tashina Davis. It's great to have you back, and congratulations on the new baby. And my Chief of Staff, Tom Ash, and Billy Baker, Molly Shea, who were here, who were very instrumental in putting this together. To the men and women of the Springfield Police Department, Ludlow, and Chicopee Police Departments, the first thing that I want to say is I want to thank your families, because it's your families who have stood by you and are allowing you to go into this honorable profession. As Commissioner Clapprood alluded to, you're going to be second guessed by some a lot of times. But there are many more individuals out there of all creed, colors, and backgrounds that cheer you on, that thank you in their own way. You might not hear them, but they do it day in and day out. Your profession is not only honorable, but it's very challenging. But we are living in a surreal time. A surreal time. You're going to see things that many other people will never see in their lives. You will see those difficult times, but you'll also see those jubilant times where you were able to help someone out. You might not get that reward immediately, but down the road, somebody will say to you, you helped my mom out, you helped my son out, my daughter, my dad, my cousin, my grandmother, my grandfather. When we were in tough times, you helped me out. And that reward might not be reflected directly in your paycheck, but it is something that means $1 million. And I think it was invaluable that Commissioner Clapprood, and I thank her for her tremendous leadership, and I thank the men and women in blue for what they do day in and day out. She mentioned about humility and a sense of humor. We can't take ourselves too serious. And you're going to need to be able to relax at times and have a good laugh when it's appropriate. But building those relationships. So I ask you to not only wear that badge with courage, honor, professionalism, integrity, but I also ask you to wear it with compassion. You're going to see people at their worst times, and those eyes are going to look up to you or look at you. What do I do? And you have to make those split-second decisions. As Commissioner Clapprood stated priorly, take full advantage of the vast knowledge, experience, common sense, and street sense from the men and women in blue, whether in the Springfield Police Department, Ludlow, or the Chicopee departments. That wisdom can be invaluable in how you handle or diffuse a situation. But as I opened, I will close. I thank you and I thank your families, because I'm sure with some of your families, even though they stand with you all the time, some with a little trepidation might have said, geez, son, daughter, do you really want to be a cop? Do you want to go in a different field? And you made that decision because I know you will make a positive difference. So I wish each and every one of you Godspeed. And I thank you for what you do day in and day out. Though we're always in challenging times, and it is a surreal time right now, there will be better days ahead of us. And working together as one, we will defeat this COVID-19 and coronavirus. But probably even more importantly, we will continue to move the city of Springfield, city of Chicopee, the town of Ludlow forward ahead. So please utilize all your skills, because the cap that you wear, you're wearing different hats and caps now. You're not only public safety, you're public relations, you're economic development. I can go on and on and on. You're a cop, you're a psychologist, you're a doctor, you're a coach, you're a mom, you're a dad, you're a son, you're a daughter. These are things you will be able to translate and transfer to the public you're dealing with. Little things mean a lot. You have graduated from a class which is tough to do. I know how hard what they put you through. But if you have done it through adversity, as Commissioner Clapprood indicated, you're the first. So always remember and never forget. With adversity builds character. So again, to each and every one of you, congratulations. I am so very, very proud of you. And I wish you Godspeed out there. Stay healthy and stay safe. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mayor Sarno. Thank you, Commissioner Clapprood. I don't know how to follow those two up, actually, at this point. So I guess what I should do is just move forward with the ceremony. At this time, what we would like to do as a staff is recognize a couple of our student officers who excelled in certain areas. We come up with awards for them. Everyone here did a great job, a good job. You wouldn't be seated here if you didn't. But certain people excelled in certain areas, and that's what we want to recognize at this point. For our audience watching online or on TV, if you weren't aware of it, this is only half of this class. The class has been split in half so we can maintain some safe distance here and adhere to the guidelines that we ask other people to adhere to on a daily basis. So what I'm going to do is read off some of our award winners and then ask one of them to step forward. As this is a split ceremony, I'd like to announce that the academic award for the highest average, the best test scores in the class, went to Student Officer John Kuskovich of the West Springfield Police Department. The Firearms Award, which is the best shot in the class, and it's not just shooting at targets. Officer Dumas and the firearms training staff really put them through their paces. It's actually scenario-based shooting. It involves PT, exercise, and shooting. We stress them out as much as we can to see how they really perform under pressure. The Firearms Award winner under those conditions is Recruit Officer Rashad Evans of the Springfield Police Department. The third award we have is what we call the Character Award. This one goes out to the recruit officer who throughout the academy or on special occasions kind of rose above everyone a little bit through consideration, the treatment of their classmates, what they volunteered for, without even hesitating for the extra work. That award is going to go to Recruit Officer Robert McAllister of the UMass Amherst Police Department. And the final award we're going to present today is one of the student officers who's here with us today for this first session of graduation. This award is called the Director's Award. Well, I'm the director, so I'm awarding it. I didn't do this, though, without the advice of my staff. And although I gotta say I value their advice, this one was an easy choice. The Director's Award goes to the student officer who we as a staff recognized excelled in just about every category. They showed us not only can they get through this, but we saw leadership qualities well beyond what we expect from a recruit level officer. The Director's Award for this academy class goes to Recruit Officer Jessica Putman, who's here with us today. Please come up, Officer. Okay. Now it's time to get to what every recruit here has been looking forward to, and probably everyone else who's watching up on the stage with me. It's time to get to officially welcoming these members of Class 520 into our law enforcement family. Officer Dumas, will you please prepare the class to be sworn in? Would the city clerk please join me up here?
Would everyone in the class please raise your right hand and repeat after me? I state your name. Do solemnly swear that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the United States of America, to the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, and will support the Constitution thereof. I do further swear that I will faithfully and impartially discharge and perform all the duties as police officer for the city of Springfield. And I hereby accept the office of police officer on the police force of the city of Springfield, and agree to obey and be bound by such rules and regulations as are or may be from time to time laid down for the government of the police department thereof. So help me God. Congratulations.
I promised Chicopee and Ludlow we didn't steal your officers just now. They actually said their town or city, not ours. Officer Dumas, will you now prepare the class to be pinned?
First squad. Charge. Hey. All alert. March. Second and third squad. Prepare to seat. Ready. Seat. Jump.
Springfield Police Officer Jessica Putnam. Springfield Police Officer Gloria Guerrero. Springfield Police Officer Selena Vargas. Chicopee Police Officer Lindsay Beshara. Springfield Police Officer Jose Endo. Springfield Police Officer Edward Milner.
Second squad. Attention. Hut. Charge. Wait. All alert. March.
Springfield Police Officer Raheem Ovales. Ludlow Police Officer Matthew Halastra. Springfield Police Officer Jose Perales. Chicopee Police Officer Alexander Chusowitz. Springfield Police Officer Christopher Kohanek. Springfield Police Officer Mariah Perez. Springfield Police Officer Imran Chaudhry.
Dark squad. Attention. What? All word. March.
Springfield Police Officer Stephen Martinez. Springfield Police Officer Joshua Rivera. Springfield Police Officer Angel Martinez. Springfield Police Officer David Torres. Ludlow Police Officer Ozan Karaslan. Springfield Police Officer Deshaun Ramos Diaz. Springfield Police Officer Joshua Klosser. Springfield Police Officer Marlon Bryan. Chicopee Police Officer Brian Murdoch.
How about another round of applause for the class as a whole? Officer Dumas, surrender the guidon.
Guide. Surrender the guidon.
One more time, congratulations, Class 520. You made it. We pushed you hard. You did a great job. We're very proud of you. I want to thank everyone. I want to thank the mayor and the commissioner for their words. Hold those to heart. No one could have put them any better. Officer Dumas, Sergeant Barberi, dismiss the class.
Officers of Class 520, you are dismissed.
Stop! Wait! All alert! March! Up! 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 Up!
I'd like to welcome everyone here who's in attendance with us, small crowd as though it is, and everyone who's watching either online or going to be watching later on TV. I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Thomas Zarelli, and I'm a lieutenant in the Springfield Police Department. I'm currently assigned to the Springfield Police Academy, and I'd like to welcome everyone. If you haven't already, choose yourself a seat. We're here today to welcome new members to our law enforcement family, and in a small way, show them how we appreciate their hard work and desire to answer the call to public service that many of us heard somewhere in our past. So at this time, I'd like to introduce those of us who are here to the members of Springfield Police Academy's Class 0520. Now that the class is in here, or at least the second half of it for today, I'd like to also recognize or introduce some people who are here with us today, as they've played critical roles in making it possible for us to have this class, this graduation. They've supported us strongly along the way, or they're going to play a critical role in the future of these young officers and their careers in the future. Off to my left, I have Mayor Domenic Sarno, Police Commissioner Cheryl Clapprood, Chief Paul Connor from West Springfield, Chief Tyrone Parham from the University of Massachusetts Amherst, and Sergeant Kevin Healy from the Springfield College Police Department. Also with us here today, I'd like to welcome Deputy Chief William Cochran of the Springfield Police Department, Deputy Chief Rupert Daniel of the Springfield Police Department, Deputy Chief Stephen Kent of the Springfield Police Department, Senior Captain Trent Duda of the Springfield Police Department, and of course, Chief of Staff to Mayor Sarno, Tom Ash. Last and not least, we couldn't do our swearing-in ceremony without the City of Springfield's clerk, Tashina Davis, who also joined us here today. To get this started, I'd like everyone, if you aren't already, please rise for our national anthem. Officer Putnam, would you please join us?
Present arms.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fights o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Order. Up.
Thank you, Officer Putnam. Class 520 started back on December 2nd, 2019. And at that time, we as Academy staff quickly realized that this group of recruits were not ready to be police officers and not even prepared to be properly inspected. For the last 22 weeks, my staff and numerous other instructors have worked to prepare them for this day and for their future careers in law enforcement. With this in mind, I now direct my staff, under the direction of Sergeant Eleni Barberi, to give Class 520 their final inspection.
Inspection. Elbow, please. May I class perform final inspection?
Sir, class 520 is ready for graduation ceremony.
Thank you, Sergeant. With that final inspection behind us, we'll move forward with the ceremony. Officer Dumas, would you please post the guidon?
Guide. Post the guide on. Post.
Well, everyone can please take their seats. At this point in graduation, usually, this is where I would tell you about Class 520, how hard they've worked, how much they've improved, and maybe a few anecdotes about the class. But I'm not going to do that here today. What I'm going to do instead is tell you about the uniqueness of this class and how the current situation that is affecting all of our daily lives brought out the best in this class, Class 520. Like many other academy classes, they've had good days and they've had bad days. And truth be told, their idea of a good day and the staff's idea of a good day are probably two completely different things. What really shaped this class is what has shaped all of our lives these days. As an academy staff, we, like most people, watched, listened, and learned as the normal was turned upside down, and we decided that if we were to stand a chance of getting these recruits through, we had to turn our academy norm upside down as well. So we thought about it and we came up with a plan. We proposed our plan to Deputy Chief Cochran and then to Commissioner Clapprood. With their blessings, we went forward and went for it. It meant long days and Saturdays for this class. It meant a full day in the classroom followed by a night of active shooter training or patrol procedures. It meant tests upon tests, academically as well as hands-on practical exams for this class. It meant pretty much that we pushed this class to get through 7 weeks of academy material in just under 4 weeks. So how did this shape Class 520? This push and what we demanded they accomplish showed us that Class 520 could come together and did have what our profession is going to demand of them now and in the future of the course of their careers. With this in mind, I'm proud to stand here and tell you that these recruits, soon to be officers, did everything we asked of them and actually performed at their best when they did. I want to thank them for growing as they did when we needed them most to do it. We put the call out there and they responded. They doubled their work effort, they got through the material, they grew and they got better at a tremendous pace at that time. And without them doing that for us, today would not have been possible. Enough of thanking them, there were other people responsible as well. None of this, absolutely none of it, would have been responsible or possible without my academy staff. As long a days as the recruits had, the staff had longer days. Long days, long nights, were there before the recruits, were there after the recruits. If they weren't willing to do this and what they did for us, we could not have gotten this class ready in time. One particular thing they did, which I'd like to point out, is in trying to rush through this curriculum and get it done as properly and quickly as possible. Most of my staff spent the entire month of February outside, in the rain, in the cold, in the winter, 10, 12-hour days to get the outside portion of training, firearms, patrol procedures done in time. That's enough about me bragging about my staff. I thank you very much. Class, I thank you too. I promise this will be brief, and it will be. So at this point, I'm going to step aside. I'm going to ask the Springfield Police Commissioner, Cheryl Clapprood, come up and speak to the class as well.
Thank you, Lieutenant Zarelli, and to your academy staff, to Class 520, Mayor Sarno, Chief Connors, Chief Parham, and Sergeant Healy. My command staff, who is also here and helps me every day, thank you for being here and watching this graduation with me. I think, first of all, I wanted to thank Lieutenant Zarelli. He didn't start as the director of the academy. Norman Charest was your lieutenant and started it off, and a lot was put on Lieutenant Zarelli for your first academy class, and you did an admirable job. And I thank you so much for everything you did tonight. Good job. I'm sorry about the conditions we're faced here today. and the circumstances under which you're graduating. I'm sorry for the conditions under which you start your career. Police work in and of itself is dangerous, but to add that, we have the stress of a contagious virus amongst us. I'm sorry your family and friends can't be here to watch this. This is a big day in your life. It's a proud moment. We did the best we could, and we have it taped and live streamed. I hope everybody gets to see it. And I hope at some point in the future, when we're able to do so, you can get together and celebrate your accomplishment. One thing needed for police work is resiliency. And as you start your career, you'll find this out for sure. What your expectations are now are probably not exactly what the job is as it unfolds. You'll have to adapt to many different scenarios, many different calls, many different relationship problems within the job itself and at home. You'll have to adapt to seeing some pretty horrific, bad things happen to pretty good people. You'll have to adapt to not being able to solve every problem and fix everyone's life. But you can make a big difference. And the ones that you make the difference in will carry you through your career. You never forget them. They'll stay with you. Every once in a while, you're going to be able to help somebody and put them back on the right path, get them the services they need, get them the help they need, and that'll come back tenfold. There are many kids now that I have dealt with way back when, in the 1980s, and don't tell me that's before your parents are born, because I can see you through your masks. Don't smile. Way back when, I also was a very active officer with a lot of these command staff members behind you. And there were a lot of incidents and calls I went on, and we helped people, or we made arrests. We put bad people in jails where they belong. We fixed some things, and we straightened some things out. And to this day, I can be out, and somebody will stop me, and they'll say thank you. And that makes all the difference in the world. So you need the resiliency to overcome the bad stuff, to keep feeling as you're feeling today, because it's important that you realize not everything is great, not everybody obeys the orders or advice of the police officer, and there are things to overcome. You are an academy class of many firsts. You're first to learn and wear the body-worn cameras after you come out. You're first to be issued PPE as a mainstay for part of your equipment. You're first to be assigned to one-man cruisers. You're first to be trained in 6 different areas of the Springfield Police Department rather than starting on midnights as a squad. You're first to have a videotaped graduation. You're first to have graduated half at a time. And you're my first as permanent police commissioner. So you have a lot of firsts to live up to here. What I will tell you is for Springfield, the Springfield officers, you will be trained in 6 different locations of the Springfield Police Department. You'll have 3 weeks in the squad, 3 weeks on midnights, 3 weeks on the 4 o'clock. You'll also go through the Detective Bureau, the Metro, the Traffic, the C3. You'll have 3 weeks' time to pick up on a little bit of everything that's going to help you out throughout your career. My advice to you is, in that 3 weeks' time, seek out the people who you can tell have experience, are well-versed in their jobs and what they're doing, and ask questions. In the DB, you're led by Captain Trent Duda, who I hold up as second to none. Him and the detectives in the Springfield Police Department are looked upon as one of the best in the state of Massachusetts. Trent, I thank you, and I thank you for your hard work and that of your unit. Thank you. You also have Deputy Kent in the Metro and the traffic unit, and you'll have meet and see Deputy Daniels over at the 50 East Street, where you came out of when you have your Youth Aid Bureau stint. Ask these gentlemen questions. They have been here for years. They have seen about everything, They hold great knowledge and wisdom. Don't be afraid to ask. In September, you will go back where you belong, and hopefully you're a well-rounded police officer who can take on just about any problem that's shoved your way. I will also say there's some other characteristics that I hold near and dear to my heart, and two more of them are humility and humor. The humility part you may understand, the humor you probably don't understand quite yet, but you will. In order to survive this job for any length of time, to have a successful career, you have to have a sense of humor. You have to be able to keep your personality. You cannot get sucked down the drain by some of the sights you see or some of the situations you're faced with. The humility comes, you are not perfect, I am not perfect, we are constantly learning on the job. This job changes all the time. It is nothing like the job when I started. It's totally different, the expectations are different, the decisions you make must be accurate, they're split second, and after you decide what to do and what's the best course of action, it'll be looked upon for months by people who have time to sit down in boardrooms and conference rooms and examine and look at what you did and look at video of what you did. That's easier decision than being out on the street and making that decision, and I'm aware of that. We are here to support you. Your chiefs and your sergeant knows that also. They are here to support you no matter where you end up for your career. The badge, the ID, the gun, it gives you authority. You have the authority to do things that most other people in the community cannot do. They do not give you respect. You have to earn that. You have to be a good person. You have to know you're fallible. You have to be willing to keep learning. You have to get people to respect you if you want them to obey your authority. Some of us have been on the job for over 30, 35 years. We're still learning. Laws change, procedures change. We have to adapt to different ways. This is all new for us. Having such a contagious disease spread through the department, going to one-man cars in different locations, it's all new for us. But we're adapting and we're learning, and we're trying to keep you safe. That's one of my number one jobs and my number one priority. The officers in Springfield is to keep you safe while protecting the citizens of Springfield. I can't do that unless I have support from above. I can do certain things in my power, but when the going gets tough and something wrong happens, we need political support. We need the support of the mayor. I've been fortunate enough to have a mayor who always is willing to look at both sides of the story, to always find out the truth, to never be judgmental early on and say, screwed up. Thank God for that, because there are communities around the country now that don't have that. And that person can make it very, very difficult for us. But we have somebody who's supportive, someone who's always been there for us, and someone that I admire for always being able to speak without a speech. And he has humor, too. Can I introduce Honorable Mayor Domenic Sarno.
It's still morning, so I'll say good morning and good afternoon. Thank you, Commissioner Clapprood, for your outstanding leadership, and to Chief Connor, Chief Barney, and Sergeant Healy. Thank you for being here, and the men and women to be here. I also want to thank the administration of the police department, Deputy Kent, Captain Duda, Deputy Daniels, Deputy Cochran. I just want to give a special shout out to Focus Springfield, my old halfback, Steve Carey, for being able to video stream this, and to my staff and my chief of staff, Tom Ash, and Billy Baker and Molly Shea, putting this together with the Director of Facilities and Parks, my Wizard of Oz, Pat Sullivan, who pulled this off. And I want to give special thanks to Lieutenant Zarelli and his team at the Academy. really during trying times. It's a challenge as it is, but you know, we're currently dealing with surreal times in our lives. Before I thank each and every one of you, I want to thank your families. Your families are allowing you to do this, and many with trepidation. They love you. They're proud of you. They want you to be safe. They might even have said to you, maybe you want to pick a different field to go in. But you made that decision to go into an honorable profession of being a police officer. And I deeply appreciate that. You are coming into not only the challenging times that any police officer, he or she faces in the country, but as I stated before, it's a surreal time. It's a surreal time. And you're making a sacrifice. And as we move forward, I'm not only going to ask you to wear that badge with courage, with honor, with professionalism, with integrity, but with compassion. As Commissioner Clapprood had alluded to, you will and you can change lives for the better. Now, she mentioned the boardrooms and her conference rooms. There are some out there that are going to second guess you, each and every one of us. And you hear them many a times, loud and clear. But there are many, many more, that thank and praise you for your efforts in their own ways. Sometimes you won't hear that. Your eyes are going to see a lot of difficult moments. So what Commissioner Clapprood had stated about humility, that's what builds respect. That sense of humor. You've gone through adversity already, but that builds character. That builds character. Down the road, you're going to see someone you helped. A mom, a dad. You helped my brother. You helped my cousin. You helped my friend. My grandmother. You saved a life. You might not see that reflected directly in your paycheck, but it's going to mean $1 million to you down the road when someone comes up to you and says that. Remember me? If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be where I'm at right now, moving forward. I still consider being a police officer a sentinel of peace. So, take full advantage. You're very lucky right now. We have one of the top police forces in the state, if not the country. The vast wisdom and knowledge you can gain from the gentlemen and the young ladies of Springfield Police Department. That's going to be invaluable to you when you're able to diffuse or stop a situation. Absolutely invaluable to you. So as we move forward, you're wearing your caps, your hats. You're wearing a lot of different caps and hats. You're not only public safety, you're public relations, you're economic development. You're asked to be a psychiatrist. You're asked to be a coach. You're asked to be a mentor. You're asked to show direction. You're asked to save lives. And I always say this when I speak to my police department, our police department, or our fire department. None of us mind any type of constructive criticism, but I can't stand naysayers because they bring nothing to the table whatsoever. And I always remind them, when everybody's running out of that building, who's running in that building to save structure or save lives? You young men and you young women are doing that. We all want you to be able to get home safe and sound, and I know the families, and we feel so terrible that your families cannot be with you here today. and as we did the first part of the graduation, who knows, down the road, and we will defeat this COVID-19 and this coronavirus as one together and for the better. Maybe we can do something a little more efficient. But this is a big step in your life now. You've gone through one of the toughest academies in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, if not the country. You are well prepared from the foundation that was laid at home by your families to the training of this academy. But every day, and it happens with me, every day you will learn something new. And don't be afraid to ask questions. But please, I want you all to be safe, and always remember and never forget that badge that you wear. Not only with courage, honor, professionalism, integrity, and compassion. You do those things with, as Commissioner Clapprood indicated, with a little humility and a little humor, you will have a successful career in the Springfield Police Department, West Springfield Police Department, Springfield College, or the University of Massachusetts. I am so very, very proud of you. You have stepped forward when many others stepped back. So, these are always heartwarming times and special times. Thank you again for stepping forward. And to your families, thank you for allowing these young men and women in blue to show the beautiful mosaic, diverse classes that we've had here in the city of Springfield and the surrounding areas. But Springfield is a good city of all creed, colors, and background. And you represent the good of that today. God bless you, God bless your families, and God bless our city of Springfield. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Commissioner, for those words. I'm hoping everyone in here, especially the young recruits, soon-to-be officers, were listening. Yes, they'll be taped for future reference, but hold those words to heart. No one could put them any better. Okay? I promise this will be quick, and I promise this will be brief. So now, let's move forward with it. Throughout the course of this class, we as staff and we as instructors, we sat back and we watched. We watched every single one of you grow, develop, come out of your shell, improve. That's what we expect of you. But some people did it to a little bit higher level than others. Everyone did it to a great level or you wouldn't be sitting where you are here today. But some people stood out in certain areas, and we want to recognize that as part of our ceremony here today. So as a staff, we put our heads together, we consulted, we talked about it, and we're going to award 4 awards here today. The first of which is our academic award. The academic award is for the recruit officer who throughout the course of the academy consistently scored the highest and the best on the multiple tests that we give them. When those were all done, we averaged them out, just like you did back in elementary, middle, junior high, or high school. So the person who came out at the end of this academy with the highest academics scores was Recruit Officer John Kuskovich from the West Springfield Police Department. Recruit Officer, would you join us up here, please? Another award we give out is a Firearms Award. The Firearms Award's a recruit officer who throughout the month we spend on the firing range with different platforms and the different tools we'll hopefully never have to use in the future, but we need to be prepared to. Officer Dumas and my firearms staff put them through an extensive training program. Like I said, it's over a month. During that time, they don't just shoot at targets. It's active shooting. It involves PT at the same time. It involves mental stress. It involves us putting as much pressure on them as we safely can to see how they'll perform with their firearm under that kind of stress. Because if you ever need to use it in the line of duty, and hopefully not, that's the kind of stress you will be under. The Firearms Award winner for this class is Recruit Officer Rashad Evans of the Springfield Police Department. Please step forward. Another award we give out during the course of the Academy is what we call our Character, or Exceptional Character Award. This award goes to a recruit officer who throughout the course of the Academy gave it a little bit extra. Like I said, we demand a lot of everyone, but this recruit officer volunteered for even more. In fact, he did it quite often. And as I described earlier, I talked about how my staff had these recruits outside in the cold winter weather for almost a month straight. Long days, not just 8 hours, well past that. Well, this recruit officer took it upon himself to go that extra mile during that month, to bring extra supplies, to always volunteer for extra duty, to do whatever he had to do to make sure everyone was as comfortable and prepared out there as he would have been himself. So the winner of the award for this academy is Recruit Officer Robert McAllister of the UMass Amherst Police Department. Please step forward. The final award we're going to give out here today is called the Director's Award. The Director's Award goes to a recruit officer who shined in multiple categories. Someone that we felt not only performed well academically, physically, with all the classes, the coursework, the PT that we do with them, but they showed a unique skill that's rare among people, especially rare among people under as much stress and pressure as we place on our recruit officers. This is called the Director's Award. And the character you need to show is leadership. Not only trying to get yourself through this academy, but putting the extra effort, ability out there to make sure everyone we can gets through this academy. The Director's Award for this academy is going to go to Recruit Officer Jessica Putnam. Recruit Officer Putnam was with us for the earlier half of this presentation, and she also graced us with singing the national anthem twice today. We will give her an award after the ceremony. Okay, that's it for the awards, for the individuals we wanted to single out for some special awards. But like I said before, every single one of you here wouldn't have made it through this without a tremendous effort. We demanded a lot, you stepped up, and you did it. We're proud of you. I'm very proud of you. It's my first class as an Academy Director. So without further ado, why don't we get to what most of us are here for today? Actually officially welcoming you into our law enforcement family. So at this time, I would ask Officer Dumas to prepare the class to be sworn in as police officers. Would the Springfield City Clerk, Deshina Davis, please step forward for the swearing in.
Can you all raise your right hand, please? And repeat after me. I state your name. Do solemnly swear that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the United States of America, to the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, and will support the Constitution thereof. I do further swear that I will faithfully and impartially discharge and perform all the duties as police officer for the city of Springfield. And I hereby accept the office of police officer on the police force of the city of Springfield, and agree to obey and be bound by such rules and regulations as are, or may be, from time to time, laid down for the government of the police department thereof. So help me God. Congratulations. We appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you.
And now.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. I will state also at this time, we do have other departments here. When I promised to visiting chiefs and dignitaries, they said their own department, they didn't say ours. We didn't just steal your recruits. Thank you, Madam Clerk, for swearing in. The second part of this is the pinning of the badges. Officer Dumas, will you prepare the class to be pinned?
First squad. Right. Hey. Second and third squad. Their seat. Ready. Seat. First squad. All alert. March.
West Springfield Police Officer Vincenzo Ritura. Officer Ritura. West Springfield Police Officer Alina Bracken. Springfield Police Officer Luishka Vasquez. Springfield Police Officer Elizabeth Torres. Springfield Police Officer Anna Chiles. Springfield Police Officer Alyssa Chaplin.
Second squad. Hard and up. Right. Hey. Forward. March.
University of Massachusetts at Amherst Police Officer Robert McAllister. Springfield Police Officer Matthew Newell. Springfield Police Officer Javante Marsh. Springfield College Police Officer Joseph Gandolfi. Springfield Police Officer Thomas Manzi. Springfield Police Officer Joseph Mikowitz. Springfield Police Officer Carlos Santiago.
Okay, what?
Springfield Police Officer Nico Garcia.
Right, right. Forward. March.
Springfield Police Officer William Soto. West Springfield Police Officer John Kuskovich. Springfield Police Officer Nathan Jerkowski. Springfield Police Officer Oral Davis. Springfield Police Officer Rashad Evans. Springfield Police Officer Clifford Gervais. Springfield Police Officer Marquez McCreath Collins. Springfield Police Officer Domenic LaCorey.
Fire! Hard hands! Hunt!
Well, it's official. Congratulations. A few more small matters of business. Officer Dumas, would you surrender the guidon?
Guy! Under the gun!
Congratulations again, Class 520. You made us proud. You came together when you really needed to under some very tough circumstances. I want to thank everyone who could be with us here in person today and anyone else who could watch or will be able to watch later. At this time, Officer Dumas, dismiss the class for one final time.
Officer, you are dismissed.